Okay. Well, thanks for coming. Appreciate it. I think obviously there's a lot of mistakes in Saturday's game over Oklahoma State. A lot of critical mistakes, especially in special teams and turnovers and things like that you just obviously can't commit and have an opportunity to even compete in the game. There was some positives. I mean, at the time, when we did things right, at times when we moved the ball offensively, we were able to run the ball with some success. Defensively, when we weren't, on the back end, we had some field to work with. We got out of there, made a punt a couple times. I think, at times we showed the ability to compete with it at a pretty high level, and just did some things. Again, you shoot yourself in the foot, you just can't do on a football field. And I don't care who you're playing. But there was some positives. And the other positives was that we played a lot of young men coming in. There was a lot of guys that got their first college playing time, and for that, again, hopefully it'll pay off down the road as we go through this thing, getting ready for conference play. And again, and hopefully those jitters will be out of the way. We'll go into play on the road again against a very tough opponent. Top 25 team in Southern Utah. Is a very well coached football team. It's been in playoffs, I guess, 2 out of the last 3 years. And again, if we want to be a top 25 team, this is definitely going to be a huge game for us, and see what we can do out there versus them. So.
You said there were some positives to pull out, but how much can you really learn about your team in a game like that? Or is it just something you kind of get out the way and move on?
Well, there's some things you do learn. Again, we got to kind of I don't know what you say, but we got kind of hit with a mass storm at the beginning of the ball game, and how we're going to handle that. I think our guys, I think we did okay. I think not handling the situation, because obviously we made the mistakes. We fumbled a punt. We shanked a punt early. We give him the ball for his first 3 times inside the 30, and that's not good. And 2 fumbles for touchdowns, and you can't do that kind of stuff. But the adversity hit. It happened, and I think our guys continued to play hard. I think we played, not mistake-free ball by any means, but we played hard, and that's the biggest thing you're looking in. Hopefully, we won't have to correct that mistake. But obviously, there's a lot of things we got to get cleaned up, especially in special teams, and our punt team was pretty bad.
Well, Aloe makes the start next week. Aloe makes the start next week.
Aloe's going to start this Saturday. Yes.
What'd you see from him against Oklahoma State this year?
Again, I think he came in, ran the offense right, showed some poise and composure in the pocket, didn't rush and get out. Delivered some balls, throws a nice fade ball, but made some nice reads in the run game. And just again, he played like he practiced. I mean, he showed the ability to do what we've seen from him since he's been here, which has been a consistent football player that can hopefully put the offense in a good situation to go out there and compete.
Conversely, what was the problem with Lander? He was kind of the guy all preseason.
Yeah, and he's practiced really well up to that. Again, probably the biggest knock is putting the ball on the ground, twice, and we can't do that. So he's not done. He's going to get his opportunity to compete and get a chance to fight back in and see what he can do. But right now, I feel like going in this game, I'll say our best opportunity is Justin Aloe.
So will Lander play a good bit this weekend?
We'll see how practice goes this week. Again, right now it's Aloe, and if he struggles or something, we could say Shea back. We'll probably try to get him in the game at some point. Yes, I don't know how much. It depends on really how this week goes.
Any update on Tahima?
He's getting an MRI today, so he couldn't get it yesterday because of Labor Day, because of the holiday, and so we'll get an MRI today, and we'll know a lot more hopefully by this afternoon.
Do you know what the injury is at least?
Yeah, well, they think it's either a strained MCL or partially torn. I don't know. So.
And obviously, no timeline yet for his return.
No, not until they give us that. If they give us that, the worst thing could be surgery. He's done, and it could be, probably more. Probably the best case scenario is probably at least a couple weeks before he's healed up and ready to go.
Who takes his spot if he is out?
It'll probably be Clavell will probably go in the starting job right now.
What have you kind of seen from him so far?
He played quite a bit. I think he played 47 snaps on Saturday. His first game, college football game. He does play. Plays the game hard. Plays hard. He can rush the passer. He can do some things like that. And hopefully he got some of those jitters out of the way and some of those mistakes. Made some mistakes, obviously, in the game that he doesn't usually make. But again, being the first ball game, he's kind of anticipated those kind of things are going to happen.
Anybody else have live? I know when playing
The only other one really was damari, Elaine, high ankle sprain. He went down, I think, the second drive, and so he'll be probably a couple weeks.
What are you seeing out of Southern Utah?
They're gonna throw the ball around. They're a spread offense. They have a new quarterback this year. They played 2 of them Saturday versus Utah. They will run some option out of it, but primarily they're going to come in and they're going to try to throw the football, and that's what they've done. That's what they've hung the hat on the last 4 or 5 years, and they're going to be mostly a spread team, throw the football. I think they're very talented, and they're very good on defense. The defense kind of what they've hung their hat on the last couple of years. They're known for having a good defense and a big sky, big physical defensive linemen. Backers too, and then again they got a secondary that they don't make a lot of mistakes. They're very well coached and do a good job.
What kind of scheme are they running?
They're going to base out of a 4-3. Yeah.
Their quarterback situation is kind of up in the air right now. Their main guy may be hurt or not. How does that kind of affect how you game plan for this when you're not sure who?
Well, they didn't really. They didn't really run anything different with the 2. They ran about the same thing with both 2 guys. One was probably a little more athletic than the other one, but they ran the same offense with them. So I think we're kind of at this point in the season, you're kind of preparing for general schemes than individuals. I don't think either one brings that much of a difference. They both can run. They both have the ability to escape in the pocket. They both have the ability to move, create some plays.
You mentioned this is a big proving game for y'all with them being a ranked team. I think this is the first non-conference ranked team y'all played in a while.
Okay.
What does it kind of mean to get into a big game like this against such a
Well, again, it'll be huge. There's going to be a little pressure on us again. Being on the road versus a ranked opponent, it's a huge opportunity. Well, we need to go in there and show that if we want to get in this hunt and this season, and I think we can. I think we're capable of doing that, of being a top 20 team. And if we're going to do that, we need to go in there and we need to play really well. We need to take care of business.
How difficult is it for you guys to gauge? They play Utah, to gauge exactly what they're doing and where they're at, or does it really matter?
Well, yeah, some of it they were probably a little outman. I mean, defensively, I thought they did. They played really well. They held Utah to 24 points, and and competed this game. Offensively, probably a little overwhelmed at times by the talent on Utah's defense side of the ball, so we probably didn't get a lot of drives going, a lot of 3 and outs. So they really didn't get any rhythm. They didn't put a whole lot of offense actually on film. So it's again, you don't want to underestimate. You can't obviously underestimate it because of the caliber of the people they're going against. So we have a lot of respect for them. I think the receivers they've got play really hard. Diving for balls. I mean, they're just going to be scrappy bunch on that part. And then things we're going to have to do is just make sure we've got to play assignment football. And they have one guy that kind of stands out. The tight end, obviously, he's kind of a matchup problem. You got to see he's 6'7", 260. Big physical kid and can run, and they'll put him out actually at X and throw him some fades, and so he creates some mismatch problems when he's in there.
This is one of the longer road trips y'all taken this year. Just how are you kind of preparing for the travel?
Well, it'll be very similar to what we just did last week because we can get on a plane, so it's just like another hour flight. It's another hour more on the flight, so we'll leave Friday, and I think we're flying out around 2 o'clock, and we'll get there at 4. Roughly 4:30 or something. So very similar to the schedule we had last week.
You said last week that a few of your guys is the first time they were on a plane.
Yeah.
A little afraid of flying. How did everyone handle it?
Oh, okay. There was some hit a little turbulence, and there's some oh my God, going, and most people on the flight busted out and laughing, but. There's a couple of them. It was a shock. It was a first flight. It was the first for a lot of guys. Our game probably I'm going to say in the 20-something was the first college football game. And the first flight for many. First earthquake. Yeah, no doubt. First earthquake for majority of the football team is the first earthquake. So yeah.
I didn't hear it. What happened with the earthquake?
We got woke up at 7:30 Saturday morning with a 5.6 earthquake. Hotel was rocking and rolling. I was on the 15th floor, so it literally was swaying back and forth. It was interesting.
Was that your first earthquake?
No, I grew up in California, so I've been through many of them. I did say that, but I've never been on a 15th floor when one was occurring, and the whole hotel was moving back and forth. It's kind of scary situation. But
how did the team react to it?
a lot of them was kind of like the first flight. Oh my God, yeah, what was that? Yeah,
First thing I saw Saturday morning.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was a first, and it's an experience. So yeah.
What's after Saturday? What's the mindset of the team right now? How are they handling things?
I think okay. I think the first thing is I think I said last night on the radio. First thing is probably more than anything is overcoming the embarrassment. There's an embarrassing factor there. Is that it's not just that we got beat, as a matter as what we did to ourselves to get beat. Things that it don't matter who you're playing. It didn't necessarily wasn't. A lot of those things were not forced by Oklahoma State. Those are unforced errors that we committed ourselves, and it don't matter if we're playing anybody in conference or we're playing, Sisters of the Poor. You're gonna have problems if you commit those type of errors. So, but hopefully we got them out of the way.